my review of this. Welcome back to another GeekaWhat video, and today, as you saw from my very good intro, I'm going to be reviewing this. Now, James, what is this? This is a StarTech capture card. Now, I know what you're thinking. If that's a capture card, I know normally when people think of capture cards, they think of Elgato. If this is a capture card, and Elgato's normally like that big, why is this thing so big? Now, this ain't a normal capture card. No. This thing's a bit special, and you'll find out why in just a moment, but let's first start off with a physical overview. So let's start on the top. Now, you get a load of writing down your left-hand side, I believe it will be on, and it says power mode, input, and SD card. You actually have some LEDs under the plastic covering on this, which you can't see, which looks super sleek, actually, I must admit. Then across the top, you have an HDMI out, which looks upside down. You have an Ethernet kind of network kind of logo. You have another network logo, a little like sort of SD card file type thingy, and you have a PC monitor logo next to another SD card file thingy logo. That's the technical terminology, lads. Then you'll also see you have another HDMI out writing, and if we jump down to the side, we can see we have a USB writing, we have HDMI in, and then we have stereo and component input labels to left, right, and then YPBPR, and then we have the StarTech logo and a big record button, which also is a tactile button, and StarTech do these tactile buttons, and I love them. Just listen. Just that not want to make you yeah. Anyway, so. Now, I know what you're thinking, this is very interesting so far. You also get a couple of LEDs on here to indicate the status of the device. But let's go around to the bottom, then we'll do the sides, and things will start to make a little bit more sense. So, you can see on the bottom, we have 4 feet next to the StarTech sort of the product sticker with the serial number and the product ID. If we then jump around to this side here, we can see it's completely blank, absolutely nothing on this side whatsoever. If we jump to the opposite side, we have a USB port. If we jump to this side, we have our component inputs and our HDMI in, and if we jump around to the other side, we have a HDMI out, we have our Ethernet jack, and we have a switch that toggles between 3 different modes, which I'm going to cover in a moment's time, and we have an SD card reader. So now you're thinking, okay, there's the HDMI in, there's the HDMI out, and there's the USB. It's a capture card, right? There's the button to start. You're right, but this thing does a lot more than that. Not only can it capture a HDMI signal, it can also mix in a stereo audio input, it can capture component in, so that's your older style things, so your VTR, that kind of stuff. If we then jump around to this side where we've got our ports, our sort of Ethernet jacks and that kind of thing, is because this capture card can do some stuff that's very special. Let's start off with the SD card reader, and I have an SD card just to hand right here. Now, the SD card reader takes a standard SD card, such as this one, shove it straight in there. It gives a lovely click like a normal SD card would. So you know it's properly in, and then you just push it back in to flick it back out. So basically what you're able to do is you're able to either plug this into a computer and capture or stream the input through like OBS or a proprietary capturing software, so a HDMI, so 1080p and 30 frames per second, or you can actually do this over straight to an SD card, which means if you're on the move, if you are actually sort of like you're struggling to find a situation, you're using somebody else's computer and you don't want to have to install software, you don't want their computer to be clogged up, all you need to do is plug in the USB cable. Now you can either plug that into a USB jack. The USB cable does come included in the box. It's of a reasonable length as well. You can plug that into the side and then plug that into a laptop, and it'll act as a power source, or you can plug it in straight away to a USB plug if you don't want anything plugged into a computer. What you can then do is hit the button on the top. I missed the button. You can hit the button on the top like that, and it will record whatever signal, whether that be your component in or whether that be your HDMI in or out. It will record that and straight to the SD card. Now I know what you're thinking, what's the Ethernet port for? You can actually stream the video data from this live over the network or over to the internet. So that is great. Now this isn't for live streaming. That's what you have to appreciate. This isn't for live streaming video. To not like a live stream in a game, for example, you would do that using OBS. You plug it into the computer, add this as a source, and then you live stream it that way. But it just means that say you're in a work environment or you're trying to cast a screen somewhere or like a Skype call, you can plug the Ethernet jack in, plug it into a router, plug it into a computer, whatever it may be, and actually cast this over either a local or the actual wider internet network. So that's actually the modes of this, and this is where that switch comes in. So you've got your three modes. You've got your network mode, your SD card mode, and your computer mode. So you can actually change it independently on this device. And if you change it to the SD card mode, it will actually mean that if you do plug the USB power cable, the USB will act as only power in that mode. If you do plug it into a computer, it isn't going to try and install drivers, because all it will act as is just a power source. All this will act as is just a battery, if you will, or a powered device, if that makes sense. So this is a very, very nice product. The design of this is very nice. But what better way to demonstrate a capture card than with some captured footage? So roll the montage. Hopefully you liked the montage. I thought it was the best way of demonstrating what this really cool piece of kit can do. Now, James, what do you think? What are the drawbacks? What are the advantages? Having this as a standalone solution is superb. It is great, especially for something like a business environment where you can do these advanced capabilities. You can record over SD without having to worry about installing drivers or putting stuff on people's computers. You can record over the network. You can live stream content over your local or the wider internet network. And of course, you can use this as a normal capture card for games, for gaming. You use it with OBS, XSplit, Wirecast, Gamecast, all those kind of things. And this really is a great solution. But what are the drawbacks? Now, for me, I found this a little bit difficult at first to get set up with OBS, although you do have to bear in mind it's not aimed necessarily at the gaming market, whilst it is definitely for the gaming market and definitely can cater for the gaming market. That isn't the proprietary aim and the proprietary target audience of this piece of kit. Now, having these different modes is great, and the Elgatos in the UK come in at around £120 to £150, and this does come in at a little bit more because of the advanced capabilities it has. It comes in at £175 without VAT, so just over £200 with VAT. You probably can get it cheaper on Amazon, Dabs, that kind of stuff, so I'll leave links, as always, in the description below the video. If you found this video helpful or want to buy this, drop a comment in the comment section below. Show some love for this really, really nice piece of StarTech kit and this StarTech product. And as always, we'll see you in the next GeekaWhat video.